This is your no bullshit guide to a happier life. Quick, but not necessarily easy tips to help you to squeeze every last drop of enjoyment out of your business and your life. My name is Helen Calvert. I'm a coach, a business owner and a parent, and I'm so happy to be here with you. I do swear occasionally, as the title suggests, so pop in your headphones if I'm not safe for little ears. Ready to go? Let's do this. Hello and welcome to this episode where we are going to be talking about massage. Just the word makes me feel so good. I love a good massage. I have met some people who just don't get it, don't get the appeal, and that's okay. We're all different. But for me, a good massage is just such a treat and something that I try to book in for myself as regularly as possible. Because as I'm going to discuss today, perhaps it shouldn't be seen as a treat. Perhaps it is much more about basic maintenance. So for anyone who has never had a massage, firstly, book in for one immediately. But secondly, it is all about how manipulating our muscles in certain ways can relieve stress and tension. And it is all about the benefits of touch. And then there are some other additional benefits as well, which we'll go into. But yes, it's about lying down or being seated, relaxing and having someone massage you, move your muscles around in particular ways that they have been trained to do. Now, as with so many things, there are a number of unhelpful media portrayals of massage. The media is very good at giving you completely the wrong impression of something. But I did actually train in Swedish massage and reflexology in my early 20s. And something that was very much a part of our training was making sure that any part of the body that isn't being worked on is covered by a towel, making sure the client is comfortable, the client doesn't have to remove any more clothing than they want to. It's actually a very professional industry. So what did I learn when I was doing my training back in the early 2000s? Well, I learned that it's something I enjoy more than I even thought I did. I'd had massages before and really enjoyed them. But when you're training, you practice on each other. And so I was getting a massage once a week. And it was something I really looked forward to. And I think that up until that point, I hadn't recognised that touch for me is particularly important. Now, straight away, especially if we're talking about massage, we can get a bit giggly about touch because it all sounds a bit like sex. But let's be adults and let's talk about things in a wider context, because touch is of huge importance to us as humans. And it is pleasurable. And then sexuality is one part of that spectrum. Touch can be many different things. We enjoy a hug. We enjoy a cuddle with people that we have no intimate relationship with. And so being touched by somebody else is something that is really important. Certainly important to me, and I think that there's a sensory element to that. It's something I haven't really dug into, but the more I learn through my children about sensory needs, the more I realise that, yes, I do have a need for touch. I mention that because I think a lot of people do. And I think when we are feeling uncomfortable, as though our needs aren't being met, as though there's something missing, as though we're stressed. So, we quite often completely miss out. Perhaps we need more touch, as I say, because it can feel a bit like we're going down some kind of sexual route that maybe isn't appropriate. But just touch in and of itself is hugely important. And it's worth remembering that that is, for some people, a need that definitely needs to be fulfilled. And just to continue on this tangent away from my training, I guess, during the pandemic, when we were locked down and we couldn't touch other people, certainly not people outside of our households, and I only touched my children for a long time because they were the only people in my household, it was a huge gap for me. I began to feel physically uncomfortable with the lack of just occasional touch. You don't realise how much we touch each other. Touch someone on the arm when you're talking to them, hug them when you say hello, shake hands, whatever it might be. I hadn't realised how important that was to me. So it's definitely something to think about, whether touch is important to you. Because if it is, having a regular massage can really help you to stay comfortable and regulated. So going back to my training, I certainly enjoyed that experience of having a massage every week. Who wouldn't? And at the time, I was working in an office doing a lot of screen work, and I was getting migraines. Not massively regularly, but enough that it was a thing, and enough that I knew exactly how to deal with them, but it was pretty unpleasant. Anyone who's had a migraine will know that is not a nice thing to experience. And I realised as I went through my massage training and had a massage every week that the migraines stopped. And I attribute that to a couple of things. I think that was to do with clearly having regular massage, because I know now that by the time the pain gets to my head, it has already been in my neck and shoulders for quite some time. So having my neck and shoulders massaged, manipulated, the tension taken out of them every week just stopped the migraines. But of course, at some point, my training stopped and I didn't have weekly massages anymore. I still tried to have them as regularly as I could, but nothing like as regularly as when I'd been training. The migraines didn't come back. And I think that's because the training had made me aware of my muscles and much more aware of where pain was in my body, and so much more aware of all kinds of things, anatomy. So I have been able to spot problems way before they get to the migraine stage, which has obviously been very helpful. So going back to the pandemic and missing touch, I did book in for a massage as soon as I could. I knew that was exactly what I needed to make myself feel more comfortable again, having been touch-starved for so long. And one of the reasons that touch gives us something, if you like, is it's a very basic hormonal issue. It releases oxytocin, which is one of our happy hormones. So, it's a fairly basic thing. It's something that we need. And in that way, I would say that massage contributes to a happier life just simply by making us happier. But of course, it has far more benefits than that as well. So it's ache and pain relief. Anyone who's got aches and pains, a massage is going to assist. Any professional massage therapist will do a full consultation with you and check out your health history. So if you have a bad back, any kind of weaknesses, any kind of problems, if you're on medication, they will want to know all of that so they can tailor the massage to you. So if you do have particular issues that make you wary of having a massage, I would probably avoid the spas, because when you go for a hotel spa treatment, they don't tend to do a hugely in-depth consultation. But if you go to a massage therapist where that is their own business and something that they do, outside of a sort of hotel spa setting, they will do a very in-depth consultation with you and tailor it specifically. So don't be put off if you feel like, I don't know if massage might, hurt me, because a good therapist will work with you to make sure that's not the case. So it really is amazing relief for just aches and pains, and it helps to keep things like migraines and chronic pain at bay. Releases oxytocin, as we've said, and of course, it's time out. you can't, when you're lying down on the massage table, you can't have your phone in your hand. You can't have screens. You haven't got anyone messaging you. You can't be looking at emails. It's time out. And that cannot be underestimated in this day and age as a benefit. Just being able to take some time and have some peace. And then I think when I was thinking about this episode, it occurred to me there is an element of self-worth. Because, of course, a massage is you lying down and asking someone, and you're paying them, but asking someone to take the time to touch you in a way that is pleasurable and helpful and good for your health, and you're just going to lie there. And I think that takes a little bit of self-worth, doesn't it? So it could be a really good thing to practice if you know your self-worth is a little bit, not where you'd like it to be. It could be a lovely way to just, let's just have a go at putting myself in the centre of the picture and doing something that is all about me. Like I said at the beginning, it really should be seen as basic maintenance and not a luxury, because we are all hunched over our phones. Many of us hunched over computer screens. We drive. We do exercise, but then that brings its own aches and pains. And I think a massage regularly, once a month, once every couple of months, can really make a difference to our health. So I know that it can be a lovely luxury if you're on a nice holiday and have a nice massage, some of those amazing luxurious massages on the beach. Oh, absolutely glorious. But there's ways of doing it in a more regular, sustainable, not ridiculously expensive way as well, as just part of our toolkit for staying healthy. So I want to give a shout out here to the two fabulous women that I go to for massage, Kate Brown of Calm at Work and Kath Wild of Wild Harmony. They both have the most incredible abilities. Slightly different, I would say. I probably book those massages for slightly different things, but I'm going to leave you to explore them yourselves, because what you are looking for in a massage, that's a very personal thing. But they're both absolutely fantastic, and I know that there will be incredible professional massage therapists in your area too if you're not local to me. Are there any bullshit elements to massage? I guess when I was doing my training, we looked at a lot of the claims about the benefits, and I guess there's probably not a great deal of evidence for some of the claims. If we're looking at alternative therapies in general, they can be a little bit controversial because there are things claimed that perhaps are not backed up scientifically, although I can hear all you massage therapists out there telling me that science isn't the only thing. I really wouldn't say it's bullshit, but I would say that, some of the claims do bear a little bit of looking into. But when it comes down to the basics of releasing oxytocin and releasing aches and pains from our muscles, no, that's absolutely what happens. That's not a bullshit claim. And massage in and of itself is really not that alternative. It's a centuries old practice that has some pretty solid benefits attached. So yeah, it's really not that woo-woo or hippie or however you want to put it. So is there a mindset block? Our little mindset block alert for this episode? Yes, of course, because a massage, as I say, is something that you cannot dress it up as anything other than something wonderful to benefit you. And for some of us, that's going to be a challenge. It's spending some money on something that only benefits you. It's not exercise, which we're often quite happy to do because somehow that feels like, that society attaches a certain value to exercise, doesn't it? Like, I can exercise. But when it comes to just doing something where you're lying down and just enjoying yourself, don't know about that. So I think the mindset block is to think about why, if you would find that difficult, why that is. And as I say, to maybe just circle back to a very early episode of mine and have a look at the old self-worth. But I really cannot recommend massage enough. It will benefit you if you have one. It will benefit you if you have them regularly. It will benefit you however you do it. And I'd love to hear your experiences and what you find are the particular reasons why massage is so wonderful. I would absolutely put it in your toolkit for a happier life. If it's not already in there, please do consider it, because I have found it invaluable. So, until next time, be excessively kind to yourself, including by booking in a massage, and let's squeeze every last drop of enjoyment out of life. Speak to you next time. Thank you so much for listening. It's great to have you along for the ride. If you enjoyed the episode, I'd be so grateful if you could leave me a review. And don't forget to subscribe so you know when new episodes are up. If you identified a mindset block during the episode and would like to work with me one-to-one, you can find out how in the show notes. See you next time.